Great photos are far more than just images. They're a subtle act of control. Your eye isn't just wandering, it's being strictly directed by lines that pull you in, by shapes that hold you hostage, by balance, tension, color, and space. Controlling what you see, and more importantly, what you feel. All great street photographers speak this silent language. It isn't about luck. It's the art of composition, the hidden psychology of how an image guides the eye and stirs emotion. So in this video, we'll break down that invisible language, how to shape chaos into clarity, how to break the rules with intention, and how to capture moments that don't just document life, but really make you feel. Street photography is often seen as spontaneous, a split-second reaction to the world unfolding in front of us. And while that can be true, the best images aren't just random. They're driven by intention. Behind every unforgettable photograph lies composition, the deliberate arrangement of visual elements that helps give meaning and tells a story. So by exploring the psychology behind great street photography, we reveal why certain arrangements just feel instinctively right. These insights will give you the tools to transform your own work with a real clarity and purpose, challenging you to notice those invisible forces that are really shaping every frame you take. Let's jump in. Part 1, the invisible hand guiding the viewer's eye. So first, let's talk about control. Your viewer isn't just looking at your photo, you should be guiding them. Think of composition as that invisible hand quietly steering their gaze. This involves weaving the foreground, subject, and background into a harmony that feels instinctive, carrying the sense that nothing should be added or taken away. Fortunately, there's a lot of tools we can practice and refine to help with this, each one drawing the viewer's eye seamlessly into the frame. Using leading lines is an obvious one, like these examples from Cartier-Bresson. He's clearly directing our eyes. Streets, railings, shadows, lines are everywhere, and our brains are wired to follow them. So use them to pull focus directly to your subject. Even shadows on the pavement can serve as a subtle guide. Ask yourself, does every line help lead the viewer to what matters most? Next, don't be afraid of emptiness. Like this shot here from the Great Soul Lighter. Stripping away clutter forces attention to what matters and gives the eye room to breathe. This is the power of negative space. Think of your subject as the main character in the scene. Every other element you choose to keep in your frame should only support that main character, or simply it should be left out. If it distracts, it doesn't belong. Framing choices also go a long way. Doorways, windows, arches, natural frames can really help add depth and context. Like this classic from Alex Webb, a complex frame that still feels instinctive due to his choice of framing. Or this frame within a frame from Vivian Maier, building layers and intrigue. As I explored in my last video, depth is far more than just an aperture choice. Framing doesn't just highlight your subject, it invites the viewer into the scene and shows that your subject exists in a wider context. Part 2, the emotional palette. How composition evokes feeling. Composition isn't just visual, it's emotional. Every line, shape, color carries a psychological weight. How you arrange them can subtly influence what the viewer feels, often before they even notice the subject. Contrast in street photography is one way to do this and goes far beyond tonal light and dark. The tension that truly captivates often comes from opposing elements within the frame. One moving figure beside something more still, like this example from Steve McCurry, or this again from Cartier-Bresson. A joyful expression beside frustration, perfectly shown again by this example again from Vivian Maier. These juxtapositions create both visual and emotional tension, making the viewer linger and really search for meaning. Another one is diagonal lines, which can inject energy, movement, and again, tension. They suggest motion or imbalance and giving a frame life. On a bustling street, a diagonal, whether a railing, shadow, or streak of light, can guide the eye through this chaos, creating rhythm and flow, like this great image from photographer Trent Park. In a similar way, horizontal lines can communicate calmness, stability, and grounding. Think of a quiet sidewalk or a horizon in the distance, which can often evoke peace. In contrast to this, vertical lines often feel strong and structured, suggesting dominance, tension, or that confinement. A tall lamppost or narrow alleyway can make the viewer feel small, emphasizing scale or drama. Illustrated here by the amazing Fan Ho. So ask yourself, what mood do I want my lines in the image to convey? Next up, color placement, which isn't just about decoration. Color can also be emotion. Strategic placement can pull the viewer's eye in, create focus, or even set the mood. When studying color, I'm always drawn to the work of the great Sol Leiter. A bright red umbrella dominates a scene instantly, while more muted tones can evoke a more quiet melancholy or nostalgia in your scene. Contrasting colors again can create some tension, and harmonious palettes can often soothe. When we tie all these elements together, your images do more than just show a scene. They can communicate a feeling, really drawing the viewer into the heart of your photography. Part 3, the rule breakers. When to challenge convention. This isn't simply about memorizing rules like the rule of thirds. Rules, yes, exist for a reason, but the best photographers know exactly when to break them. So consider things like asymmetry. Balance, yes, can feel natural, but asymmetry can also create this tension and unsettle the viewer and really keep them intrigued. This slight Dutch angle used here by Bruce Gilden only helps add this tension and impact to this scene. Also important to consider that sometimes less is more. Isolation can really magnify impact. This dramatic image, again by Fan Ho, shows a lone figure against a vast background. Not just simple, it's powerful. Remember, breaking rules isn't just rebellion for its own sake, it's how you create images that can really stand apart. Part 4, the human element, connecting through composition. Street photography isn't just about shapes and lines. At its real soul, it's about people. Many think this part is simple, just get closer, but it's more than just proximity. The best moments aren't staged, they're often anticipated. By observing gestures, rhythms, you learn to frame the scene before it even unfolds. Going back to this example from Cartier-Bresson, it's not luck. Often it's finding a scene, anticipating, and sometimes just waiting patiently for everything to line up. How close you shoot, yes, can change everything, but it isn't purely about getting closer. Tight frames can feel more intimate and confrontational. Again, this example by Bruce Gilden highlights this perfectly. But shooting from a distance can feel slightly more detached and observational. Both choices do carry meaning, but it's all about intent. Cartier-Bresson called it the decisive moment, the fraction of a second when everything just aligns. It's not magic, it's awareness, patience, and positioning. And like any skill, it takes practice. Part 5, mastering the street, practice and perception. So how do you bring this all together? The answer is with intentional practice and perception. Train yourself to really see, observing the world as shapes, patterns, light, and gestures. The more you start to notice, the more opportunities reveal themselves. This is not just about shooting endlessly. You also need to practice the art of review and studying your own work. Ask, where does the eye go first? What emotion does this frame carry? Analyze why you like a photo and why you don't. Learning to be critical is a real part of the practice. Remember, composition isn't just a formula. It's a practice. The streets are unpredictable, but over time, you'll learn to arrange chaos into something meaningful. So the next time your street photography is feeling flat, remember it's not about luck, gear, or even the streets themselves. It's often about psychology, those invisible principles that guide the eye, stir emotion, and connect us to human stories that unfold around us. Master these, and you won't just take pictures, you'll create images that truly live. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, keep shooting, stay curious, and catch you in the next one. Bye for now.